I once traveled America in the van in the middle of a forest. And I guess the most memorable experience of that was being so terrified about getting out of the van that I had to pee out the passenger window. My name's Mike, and I do a variety of things. I'm a concept designer, which means designing visual design for films, for television, for video games. It's designing sets, designing props. It's effectively designing things that visually communicate to the audience the story in a way that hopefully taps into their emotions and their intellect in a way that's engaging. And then when I went to college, to European college, which is more like kind of extension of high school, I started to really take seriously the idea that actually people create stuff for a living. And I got hooked on that and began to try and focus a lot of my creative energy into kind of recreating that emotional experience. And only years later did I realize that creating art was a form of trying to connect with that kind of numinous experience of touching something kind of transcendental. The mythology and that these stories of these quests into the unknown is a kind of deeply human thing. And then the more I looked into this subject of creating the artwork for it, the more I became obsessed with the psychological mythology of why these stories engage us in the first place. And that led down a rabbit hole of kind of philosophy and psychology, and finding out that these 1,000-year-old tales or these biblical quests, they're not literal narratives. They're metaphors for your psyche, effectively going through the stages of development, and that we're constantly on a quest to go into the unknown and extract something from that experience and then bring it back to the world. And now I try and use the tools of creative kind of creation or concept art and design and storytelling in order to further that goal of self-discovery, as it were. And I think that that's the critical aspect of storytelling, of cinema, of theatre, of books, of everything we do. Ultimately, it should be a manifestation of helping people discover their potential and to become the best versions of themselves by becoming unafraid of the unknown. So that's kind of a roundabout way of describing how I draw pictures with advanced digital crayons.